Welcome to week 15 team assignment to produce a pitch video for Bento Buddy, Bento Box style meal solution. This is section 3, team 7 with Samuel, Harmony, Ethan, and Howard. Our solution has two main targets that we're aiming at. The first job target is to help busy parents and workers save time and stress by providing affordable, prepared, and fresh meal solutions. Our second job target is to provide nutritious meal solutions that appeal to people of all ages and all palates. This is our segment opportunity. Our primary customer segment include people of all ages, of primarily middle-class working families. They live a busy lifestyle with many responsibilities, and they struggle with time. They try to balance time, kids, and healthy eating habits. We're trying to provide an ideal solution for them by providing convenient, affordable, and healthy meal solutions. Our customer segment currently relies on fast food giants like McDonald's to satisfy their meal needs. Fast food restaurants are frequently regarded as a convenient and cost-effective solution for quick meals. The success outcome provided by fast food giants like McDonald's are affordable and satiating meals for the entire family. One example of a moment of struggle for customers that currently rely on McDonald's. This is Tim, a single parent who had to work late and picked up fast food for dinner again. With no time to cook, he grabbed a Happy Meal for his kid and a Big Mac for himself. On the drive home, guilt set in as he wished he could provide healthier meals for him and his family. The other solution that our customers currently rely on are restaurant takeouts. This can be convenient as our customers can call into the restaurants and order their meals and go to pick up at a later time when they have been prepared. This can be convenient as it saves the customers time since they don't need to wait at the restaurants. The success outcome of the takeout is that it can offer every family member what they want, allowing for diversity in ordering. It can also be healthier than fast food restaurants. The moment of struggle for restaurant takeouts is that it can be extremely expensive due to rising inflation and the increasing cost of the ingredients. It is often not very cost-effective to feed the entire family off of just restaurant takeouts. Next will be Sam, who will be validating the value provided by Bento Buddy, our proposed solution.
Hi, my name is Sam Arnott, and for this portion, we're going to be introducing Bento Buddy, which is our proposal for providing a solution that gets the job done well. Bento Buddy delivers affordable, healthy, and convenient meals without any compromise. Like most food businesses and companies and organizations around the world, we are going to be offering all three: the affordable, the healthy, and convenience by keeping overhead low, margins modest, while also making quality nutrition accessible to all of our customers. As for the innovation piece, where were we innovated? The context that there are customers and consumers that demand food that is healthy, affordable, and convenient. And so with Bento Buddy, our primary focus of innovation is, maintaining that operational efficiency that lowers costs without sacrificing that quality or convenience. As for Bento Buddy's business model, it's going to be direct to consumer. We're going to have subscriptions available as well as meal bundle options, and we're also going to be community focused, involved in the community. That's essential. As for the target job that's not getting done well, um, it's that busy, health-conscious individuals are struggling to find meals that are nutritious, affordable, and truly convenient. Fast food, it's cheap and convenient, but it's very unhealthy. Meal kits are healthy but inconvenient and expensive. And there are those cafes and salad bars that healthy, they are inconvenient, and they can get pretty expensive. And then for the grocery stores, there's cheap options, there's expensive options. You know, relatively speaking, you can walk into a store and buy a healthy option for food, right? But it's inconvenient. You got to go in there, walk around the store, pick out what you want, and go from there. Just a breakdown for Bento Buddy, our key partners are going to be the suppliers and our franchisees. As for key activities, of course, it's production of the food, production of the meal prep, so forth. Our key resources are going to be physical, on site, as well as our human resources. For our value propositions, as discussed previously, convenient, affordable, and healthy. In terms of our customer relationships, we're going to have that in-store opportunity for, establishing relations with our customers, right? But we are going to have a user-friendly website where any time of the day, customers can go in there, place an online order, schedule it for today, tomorrow, the next day, and have a meal prepared for pickup at soonest convenience. As for the channels, we're going to have direct sales, indirect sales, and we're also going to have our own stores. And as for the customer segments, obviously this is going to be tailored towards, our core audience of those that are looking for nutritional options, health focus, and so forth. But anyone can go into our store and buy a meal, a prepackaged meal that's ready to go, take it home and eat. As for the cost structure, we're going to be having variable costs, fixed costs, cost driven, as well as the economies of scale. And for those revenue streams, it's all going to be asset sales. Just from a quick overview on here, in terms of our Bento Buddy, most of our expenses and costs is going to be on that startup costs, rent, payroll, and so forth, as well as our suppliers. However, those suppliers are going to be providing us the ingredients that we need to make for our bento boxes. What we're going to be providing to our customers, food products, critical food products, local quality ingredients, ready to go, affordable, bang for your buck. Whereas we're going to be bringing in that cash flow. Big deal here is those franchisees, right? So we're going to be receiving those franchise fees, right? But we're going to be providing the brand and the infrastructure for those franchisees. So once established and we really get the ball rolling, we're looking to expand pretty quickly. As for the customer segments, once again, mass market. Our products and services are intended to appeal to all customers. Of course, as mentioned before, healthy, conscious individuals, those that want a convenient option, that is for you. But anyone can walk into Bento Buddy and pick out a meal and be satisfied with the options that are presented. As for the value proposition, they're healthy. All the meals can be prepared with fresh, whole food ingredients, and they're also going to be local. Bento Buddy aims to have prices that are affordable, similar to fast and casual restaurants, establishments, so forth. Meals will mostly range between $10 and $12. And of course, as for the convenience, aspect of this, Bento Buddy aims to have a similar turnaround time as Subway and Chipotle restaurants. So you go in there, there's a cold bar. Of course, there's pre-prepared meals for you, but you can also go in there and choose your proteins, your vegetables, your carbohydrates, your fats, so forth. Assemble that Bento Buddy box, and you're out the door. As for fulfilling the value proposition, of course, we're going to be maintaining that low overhead, minimum staff, digital order only. We're not going to have dine-in access. It is pick up and go. As for the nutrients, of course, the critical aspect of this is that we are going to be utilizing nutritionists to help formulate those balanced boxes and eliminating any potential harmful ingredients that could compromise, just the value of a healthy meal, right? and keeping that convenience. We're going to be minimizing those wait times, and so forth. As for the channels, direct sales. Once again, those sales are going to be made directly to the customer from our retail locations. Indirect sales, our online website, our app. They can order online, pick up anytime that they specify, and our own stores. We have an in-house sales force in which obviously our employees are directly employed to the establishment. They greet the customers and so forth. Customer relationships, where we are definitely going to have an online presence that is essential in today's world. Everyone's on their phone, everyone has an app, so forth. So that's going to be critical. Having that strong digital presence to connect with our customers, encourage reviews, encourage feedback, any suggestions, and so forth. Revenue streams, of course, our asset sales. It's going to be profits that are going to be made from the direct sales of our food merchandise. Key resources is going to be our physical spaces, retail space, kitchen and materials, tools to make the meals, right, and all those fresh ingredients. May I emphasize again, our local fresh ingredients that are required for our establishment, to function and to maintain our sales. Once again, key resources. We're going to have our human aspect element of this. Our stores have to have our human assets in there to form, the kitchen staff to prepare those orders. And then as for our key activities, production, it is to produce these meals for the customer. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Key partnerships, of course, the most critical and essential one of all is our suppliers, right? So that's where we're going to get our local fresh food, our ingredients to ensure that, they're on time of delivery, ensure low prices, and yeah, timely fashion. Time is money. Another key partnership, again, our franchisees. Once Bento Buddy, expands its operations and then beyond a handful of stores, our franchisee plan will need to be implemented to ensure that we leverage and expedite our future growth.
So Bento Buddy has a variable cost structure with a lot of the goods that we have. This can include seasonal type items or seasonal type packaging, different marketing operations that we're going to have to do at different times of the year. If you want to set up like a booth at a farmer's market, if you want to, or get some local social media ad space, it could vary for the amount of the price. But I think that most of the variable costs are going to come from the foods itself, just because during like peak harvest months for certain things, you're going to be able to get some produce a lot cheaper than if you were to try to get it at the other parts of the year. Bento Buddy's fixed costs, on the other hand, consist mainly of like the kitchen utensils or different tools or appliances that we might use. It could even be something like the general overhead of certain items that we have, including rent. So Bento Buddy focuses on minimizing costs whenever possible to keep itself competitively priced. The main strategic goal of Bento Buddy is to have a small square footage for the facility so that we can have as little overhead as possible. Think of like a footprint pretty similar to like a Chipotle or something, where there might be a small dining area, but for the most part, people come in, they're able to kind of customize their order up at the counter and kind of see it be made, and then they can take it home from there. Bento Buddy uses economies of scale to lower the costs of different facets of the business. By having economy of scales with the purchase of different seasonal goods or different food items that we have year round, we're able to offer a product that costs less for consumers, but still has a pretty high quality in terms of the food and the packaging. But I think the real key is keeping it affordable enough to where a family can go and get dinner and they feel like they're getting a good value for their dollar. So now that we've gone through some of the concepts of our business model, let's go over the kind of things that we're asking for from stakeholders. We're looking to fund to launch operations and marketing for Bento Buddy, possibly opening a few locations within a set area to kind of establish a market presence and so that our marketing can have more of an effect on a general area. We're also looking for support when it comes to strategy and growth acceleration starting out so that we can get momentum going from the get-go. partnering or having pilot opportunities within certain networks, possibly with collaborating with other food supply chains, possibly to get the costs down. That is what we're looking for in order to give our customers the best quality product for a good price. Okay, so now that we've gone through that, we want to take you through different designs for our offerings of products. So these are the Bento Buddy interior design options that we have. So from what you can see here, this is generally the split of certain food items that we're going to have for several of our bento boxes. So you can see here some fruit, optional protein, an equal part of vegetable, carbohydrates, and protein. All of our dishes are going to be approved by nutritionists themselves so that the customers know that whatever meal they get, it's going to be healthy and it's going to be tailor-made for them. There's also just carbohydrate protein boxes for those seeking more of just something that they can get in their daily protein amount with a little bit of carbs. And we have a few different interesting mixes that might take out certain components or add certain components in. But really, the key is that Bento Buddy is very flexible with their offerings, so customers can get exactly what they want whenever they come. Here's another example where we have a good amount of protein, carbohydrates, a little bit of vegetables, pretty similar to interior design number 2. Again, here's one for someone, maybe they're on keto and they want to have something that's no carbohydrates. We can do that too. We can customize a box for them. And right here you see some of our key partners in the ecosystem risk blueprint. We're going to be collaborating with an app developer to help on our front end. We're going to be collaborating with different local food providers and nonprofits, possible local tech companies. Bento Buddy is really going to try to take advantage of as many local things as possible, because we believe that supporting the local community is one of the most important things for any business. So what are some co-innovation risks that Bento Buddy might face? Because it relies so heavily on fresh produce, and some of it being seasonal, there can be a risk when it comes to sourcing local or seasonal foods. Let's say we plan to have a seasonal item and maybe a harvest just doesn't go to plan and we don't have access to the necessary resources for it. In order to counteract this, I'll go into this a little bit more in a future slide, we're going to try to make strong partnerships with multiple different local farms so that, let's say one farm isn't able to provide on like their offerings, we can talk with some of the other farms and try to secure a deal on shorter notice. Since our products are so oriented to be social media shareable, if we don't keep up on our standards and our packaging routine, it could be a risk that customers don't get what is initially advertised, which is a social media ready meal that looks and tastes great. So how can we avoid this risk? So in order to keep this wow factor for Bento Buddy, we really have to focus on our staff itself, training our staff, giving them the right tools for the job, making sure they're not too inundated with work. So we're really going to invest a lot of time into each of our employees to make sure that they represent Bento Buddy as well as possible, and that they make sure that the customer experience is the same every single time. As I discussed a little bit in the last slide, we're going to be trying to secure agreements with multiple different providers early and before launch so that we can make sure we have our offerings ready. We're going to start with a core menu that has ingredients that we know won't be out of stock so that we won't have these issues from the get-go. And investing in our employees, giving them the tools they need to prepare the meals is also going to be key. So what are some adoption chain risks? As we know, many kids love the bento style, like cute boxes and different types of interesting food designs. Keeping a price that is reasonable enough for parents to want to be able to buy it for their kid on a regular basis is going to be key. With the more intricate design, of course, comes a little bit higher price. So we need to create a perfect balance between the two of them so that the parent knows what they're getting and that they know that it's going to be at a good price. And as we discussed earlier, employees are going to be a major focus for us, and we're going to make sure that they're trained right, they're paid right, so that they can represent Bento Buddy as accurately and as friendly as possible. And another issue that might happen is that some people just might not have even tried a bento box or don't even know what it is. So how are we going to get around this? We're going to launch several marketing campaigns. We're going to show normal people coming and eating at Bento Buddy so that the people know that it's not just some strange like one-of type restaurant place. This is something that everyone can enjoy, families, office people, You could be anybody, and you can come to Bento Buddy and get something that you know you're going to like to eat. It's not just Japanese inspired food. We have food from all different regions of the world, even American. So really, we just need to be able to advertise to the local area, show people that whatever they want, Bento Buddy can help give them good quality food at a decent price. So one of our risk mitigation strategies is that in order to mitigate risk, we could set up an initial entertainment and education marketing strategy that shows the customizability and fun aspects of our product offerings. Having promotions to draw families in the door while starting out could give a head start in word of mouth marketing in the local area. A staff culture playbook could also be implemented to make the customer experience consistent across each visit regardless of the location, helping the customer feel welcomed and comforted in frequenting our stores. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. We hope that you're excited for Bento Buddy's offerings and that you consider us as a potential investment opportunity. We're dedicated not just to our investors and partners, but also to the families and the communities that we serve. And we hope you give us the opportunity to prove what we can do. Thank you.